What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg, and I'm here, and I just played Sesame Street Once Upon a Monster. I'm with Tim, Nathan from Double Fine Studios. You probably know them best, Double Fine Studios. Of course, they employed Tasha Harris. They put out Costume Quest, but now they got this new game. Tim, tell me all about it.
Once Upon a Monster was the idea of Nathan Martz here, who had a desire to make a game that was both uplifting and also kind of fitting with what Double Fine does. We like games about characters and games that push the medium in the same way that the people who invented Sesame Street 40 years ago wanted to push the medium of TV.
Nathan, the thing that impressed me the first time I ever saw it is that it's not just a dumb kids game, right? Like, you're trying to take the values of Sesame Street and apply them in a very interactive way. How are you doing that?
A lot of different techniques. So we work really closely with Sesame Workshop to try to make sure that we're not just matching their brand, but matching their educational curriculum. So every story in the game is about a monster with a problem, and we choose the personality of that monster and the problem that they have very carefully. They're usually meant to illustrate a particular idea. Like today we have a problem, a monster who's her environment's been kind of ruined, and you help her clean it up, and it's about empathy, but also about environmental responsibility. We've got other chapters about shyness, about compassion, bravery, and so we try to allow, sort of as you watch the game, you learn a little bit, but then as you play the game, you demonstrate those skills actually back and model good behavior for the monsters, which is something you can only do in a video game.
What have you included to keep adults on their toes, or at least, make them want to let their kids play this game? Yeah,
well, there's really two levels. One is the jokes that are written. We have a lot of, especially Cookie Monster is very funny if you're an adult. He speaks like a caveman, but he's got the vocabulary of a Harvard grad. So like his word choice is very funny. His observations and commentary are pretty erudite a lot of the time. But also the activities we've designed to be very, very accessible, so that really as long as you're trying, you can complete the entire game. But then we have a reward system that if you're able to do particularly well, collect all of the flowers as you fly up the plant, get 100% in a music game, we'll give you rewards that unlock stuff in the very last chapter of the storybook. So, that as well as achievements provide kind of a higher end and aspirational end for parents or older kids.
Tim, in your off time, are you just grabbing kids off the street and throwing them in front of this to play test it?
I'm not allowed to grab kids off the street anymore, but my own daughter, just having her come in the office, and I wasn't even planning on testing it, but I was just in the room when the game was on, and I was waving at Marco on the screen, and she just looked at me and started laughing and jumped in and just started waving at the screen, and it made me so happy to see just how accessible the game is and how immediately appealing it is for kids to interact with the game using Kinect, because they don't have to learn how to use shoulder buttons. They just jump in and wave and jump around and fly, and all this stuff is really natural for kids.
When can people buy Sesame Street Once Upon a Monster?
This fall.
Yes, on Kinect.
All right. Next time I interview you guys, I promise I'll grow a beard. For more information on Sesame Street Once Upon a Monster, keep it here on IGN.com.